Hello everyone and welcome you all to another tutorial on Adobe InDesign. So in this class we'll be learning about how we can use images inside our application or inside the document in which we are working on. So in last class we learned about how we can use long text. I have shown you guys all the features about the long text, how we can use it inside our work or this document. So now we'll understand how we can put different type of images and what are the different ways of putting the images, how we can actually fit it to the frame and according to our needs. So let's not waste time and let's get started with this class. So the most basic way to get the image is to just drag and drop the image. As you can see, when I'm dragging and dropping, I do have my image on my cursor now. So now if I just click here, you can see I do have my image here. So from here, what I can do is I can readjust the size here and I'm just moving. So here, as you can see, inside my picture, I do have a cursor. So using that, what I can do is I can actually change its positioning. Okay, because my picture size is quite big comparing to the frame. So what I can do is I can adjust. See, I can just adjust, but my frame is not moving, but the content inside that it's being changed. As you can see the red line when I am on my cursor. I can actually adjust it like that, the way I want. And using this, if I want to move this whole, I can move it from here. As you can see, the inside content is now stable, but I can move this box from here. Okay, as you can see. And if there is a picture, particularly that part only I want, then using this cursor, I can actually adjust the positioning of this image. Okay, so this is the most basic way of how we can actually put images inside our application. Okay, see here, as I do have few images, I'll be showing you guys how we can actually use these images properly. So I'll just click on this, I'll click on delete button. So now suppose I do have many images. Okay, not only one images, I suppose I do have few more images. Okay, so here what I can do is I'll come here, I will right click here and I can choose any of these three. Okay, I can choose a rectangle frame tool, I can choose a ellipse frame tool or a polygon frame tool. So what I'll do is I'll take one rectangle frame tool and I will just copy this one here, and again I will take another ellipse and I'll also copy this one here, and let me take a polygon frame tool here. So let me create a polygon here first, adjust the positioning, and with alt I'm just copying. Okay, I'm just keep clicking on alt on my keyboard and I'm just moving the cursor. That's how we can actually copy. So here I do have four boxes, two polygon, two circles and two rectangle boxes. So now what I will do is I want to put the 6 images here. So from here I will press on Control and I'll choose 6 images. And what I want to do is now I want to bring all this here. So as you can see, when I bought all these images from there, now I do have the 6th image, and this application is asking me where out to put the 6th image. So now I need to put my cursor inside the box, and if I click, you can see my picture is inside this box. Okay, it is not going outside the box as I have already created a space for it before that. So now I want my fifth image to be here, the fourth one to be in this circle, the fifth one to be here, and the first one to be here. Okay, now as you can see, if in case if I would have just come here and just drop this image here, you can see I do have my images here, and here you can see not in a particular size, as you can see from here. Okay, and from here I already chose them a particular space or a particular frame where they won't exceed the spacing. Okay, and I'll also show you guys here. You can see it's not adjusted quite properly. I'll also be showing you guys how we can actually adjust of all this. So first let me just delete all these pictures here. So I'll delete all this, and now I do have these 6 images here in two in a rectangle frame tool, two in ellipse frame tool, and the last two in a polygon frame tool. So now, once I click on this image, here you can see on the right hand side, I do have an option called frame fitting. Okay. And under frame fitting, I do have fill frame proportionally. I do have fit content proportionally. I also do have fit content to frame, fit frame to content, center content, and also content aware fit. So these are the most basic or the important options which we do have in InDesign for images. So basically with the help of all this, we can actually work in InDesign. And let me take another picture here. Okay. So let me just drag and drop this one here. Okay. So as you can see, I do have this image just here, and the quality of the image when I open it in my system, it's quite better comparing to what I do have here in this application. Okay, but we don't have to worry about that because InDesign it is built in such a way that it can handle so many images and so many pages at the same time. So this one is just only for preview. Here, this one is only just for preview. All these are just for preview. If we can see that the quality of the image or the picture is not that great, we don't need to worry about that, because while we make the final content or the final product, means when we are about to print a ebook or when we are about to print a particular book cover, then in that case, especially, we won't be able to see the low quality image. We will have the high quality image because here it is just only for preview. Here it won't affect the quality of the image, or it won't even affect the quality of the whole project. So we don't need to worry about that. And the same goes with many type of designs and as well as text. So here it might look a little low quality, but in the main product, it won't look as such. It will look perfect and it will give us a good output. So I'll just delete this picture again. And now as I do have this here, what I'm going to do is I'll come here on the options on top and I'll select the option as Essential Classic. Okay. So here why I have choose this option, because if in the older version of this Adobe InDesign, you don't have this option in the control panel. So basically from here, we can see we also do have these options here on top. Okay. So here we can basically work with the images if we do have a different version of the Adobe InDesign. But in this version, we can actually work on Essentials tab. And on the Essentials tab, I do have all the options here. And after that, I do also have the option for if I want to auto fit, if I want to see the preview, if I just on this, I can also manually crop from top, bottom, and left and right. And how I want my fitting to be, I can also choose from here. How I want it to align, I can do all that from here. Okay. And for a particular image, if I do only have one frame, okay, and in that case, I can just drag and drop the image. Here you can see it won't exceed the boundary here. Okay, in that case it won't exceed the boundary, but if the same way, if we just put our cursor and just place our cursor and click outside the box, it will come in the full size. And after that we need to crop that out or just edit the image as we want. So here come we'll see about all these images here, how we can actually work with this. So here the first option we do have is fill frame proportionally. So if I click on this option here, you can see my image here just fill itself proportionally. As you can see, once I have selected this option, uh, all these images fitted, this particular image which I have selected fitted proportionally with the framing. And if I choose again here for all this picture as well, if I choose that one, it will do the same. And for this as well, okay. So as you can see, I do have these images here, okay. And there is another way also what how we can do this is if we right click, and after right clicking here just under the stroke weight option, I do have the fitting option. So here all this gives me the same option which I have in my control panel. There is actually two or three ways in all the application how we can do the same work. So we need to choose what's best for us. Here, as you can see, if I right click, I do have this. And we also do have the shortcut keys. As you can see here, fill frame proportionally. If I want to do it with shortcut key, I just have to press on Control plus Alt plus Shift plus C. Okay. And all these I do have the shortcut keys. But if you're starting as a beginner and just starting out with working in InDesign, it will be better that we start doing it manually. We use all the easier options. But once we are regularly working and once we are just quite familiar with this application, we are working every day on this application, then slowly we'll get to learn about all this shortcut key, which will just save our time and we will be able to work quite efficiently. Okay. So here we have learned about what is fill frame proportionally. So you can see my image is fitted proportionally according to the frame size. And now let's see if we fit the content proportionally how it will look. Okay. So here as you can see, I have just fit the content proportionally. So from here I will choose this one. As you can see, I do have spaces left on both the sides because this image is not a landscape image like here, the first one, but this one is basically a portrait image. So here, once I click on this option here, which is fit content proportionally, I do have gap on both the sides here. Okay. And let's choose another option here. fit content to frame. So it's quite understandable. What do you understand like fit content to the frame? Okay. So here if I come, if I choose this image again, and if I click fit content to frame, you can see it's just fitting my image or the content according to the framing. And the same if I do it here, you can see here is just fitting it to the content. Okay. But why I don't prefer to use this option basically is, as you can see, as I was having a image which was in a portrait mode. So here, if I just try to fit this content to the frame, then it will just stretch the image quite a bit. Okay. So it's just stretching out, and most of the time, if our picture is just stretching out, it doesn't look good because it just decreases the quality of the image and it also looks bad as well. Okay. Here, if I click, as you can see, this one also, here it is just trying to fit it proportionally. Okay. And now let's see like fit frame to content. Okay. So here, if I select this option, and this is just the opposite of here fit content to frame, and this one is fit frame to content. Okay. So here, if I click on this one particularly here, and if I click here, you can see the framing is changing and is just readjusting itself according to the picture size or according to the content. Okay. So here if I click, as you can see, it will just fit frame to the content. And the same way if I choose here, and let me choose all these options as well. Okay. So here it just stretched out. I'll just go back here, and if I want to change this, you can see it will, it doesn't look good at all because it will just exceed your page size sometimes. Okay. If I'm trying to do this, because originally the picture size is quite big, and if you try to do that, it won't look good. And the same way I will do this one here. So I hope you guys have basically understood all these four options till now, like how we can fill frame proportionally, like how we can fit the content proportionally inside the box, and fit content to frame, and fit frame to content. And most of the times I will avoid these two options here, basically, and I have showed you the pros and the cons of both of this. And after that, I do have the option as the center content. Okay. So what does center content means? So here, if I show you in this image particularly, the content is this one. Okay. This is the main content. So in that case, what this system or my computer or this application will do automatically, once I choose this image and I click here, you can see it will just put this content in center of this page. And if I do the same here with this, you can see it will just it put the content here as well, and the same here and here as well. If I want to show you in many pictures, so it will just put it here. And after that, I do have the content aware fit. So the content aware fit means, so here it will be aware about the content. So what is the content in my image? It will automatically be aware about its content. So what is the content in this particular image? So it will be aware about that. And accordingly, it will just frame it to our, it will just fit it to our frame. Okay. So here, if I choose this particular picture and if I click here on this content aware fill, here you can see according to the content in this image, it is just fitting proportionally here. And in the same way, if I click on this one, and here if I click on content aware fit, it will just fit the content proportionally as well. The same way here, we can do this as well. There is no much difference, but it depends on picture to picture, like what kind of picture do I have. So here, as you can see, it was a landscape picture. Here it just showed some major differences here. So for each images, we need to choose quite carefully, and what actually soothes our eyes, or what actually look good to our eyes, we can do that. So I'll just fit it to the frame. And after that, if I want to auto fit any particular image, I can click on this, makes content resize and frame resizes. So here now, if I am just clicking on this image, it will just resizes itself, as you can see here. Okay, and with this hand tool, I can also change it, as I have shown you in this starting of the class as well. And now let's see few other options here. As I do have options here, I have shown you guys the auto fit. If I want to auto fit, and in case if I want to fit the content here, how I want to fit it, like if I want to fit content to the frame, fit content proportionally. If I want to fill the frame proportionally, here I do have the options, and I do have the option how I want it to align, like from where I want it to align. Okay, here all on the 9 sides I can align here. If I want to align it in the center, if I want to align it to the left side center, in the top right corner, in the bottom right corner, we can do all that. And here I can also crop any particular images if we choose. Okay, here suppose I want to see the preview, then I'll just tick mark this one. If I'm just cropping from here, and if I don't on the preview, I won't be able to see here. So what I'll do is I'll just click here, and here as you can see, I'm just cropping here, and from bottom also I'll crop, so you guys can see. And if I want to crop it from the left, I can increase it from here, and if I want to crop it from the right, I can increase it from here. So hope you guys have understood. And here also we do have the link and unlink option. So here if I link this one, and if I change this, you can see all these 4 is changing the same way. But if I unlink this, I can actually crop this image manually. Like if I want to crop 2 inches from the right and 1 inches from the left, I can do that here. If I want to crop 1 inches from top and 2 inches from bottom, I can do it from here as well. So hope you guys have understood how we can actually fit in our images. So in this class, I have shown you guys how we can actually crop images, how we can fit it, and I have also shown you guys about the frame fitting options. What all do we have if I want to center fit my image, how we can do that. I have also shown you guys if I do have an older version of Adobe InDesign application, how we can also access the image option from there. Okay, and if I do have a multiple images, so how I gonna just bring it to my workspace. So in next class, we are going to learn everything about pages. Okay, so how we can add so many pages, how we can add or use 2 or 3 parent pages in the same workspace. We'll learn about all that. So hope to see you all in the next tutorial. Take care and goodbye for now.